watch this. I'm a hot mess tonight, just for anybody who hasn't noticed that already. But it's okay, because we're all here and we're all together, and this will be fine. Jennifer, I don't know. You have a hand now. Are you waving? Lower your hand. Okay. I don't know. So I'm going to try and cover at least some of the topics that you guys were asking about, wanted to know about. A popular one that seemed to come up is the topic of sampling. And there seems to be a lot of questions regarding sampling. So I'm going to try and just start this out with getting the samples out, physically getting samples in people's hands. I know a lot of people are struggling with this, and I don't think there should be a reason to struggle with this. The easiest way I can say to do it as far as getting samples out in people's hands is make sure every post that you post, you have a DFT on or something along that nature. You do not need to make every post. This is going to tie into a lot of the same questions. As far as catching attention, grabbing attention, all that fun stuff, it's getting samples out, is you want people to be super curious about what you're posting about. So I would stray away from making the post spelling out what Thrive is. I do one of them typically probably once a week, just because people see the name Thrive enough and they're just downright confused, but they don't want to reach out. There's plenty of them. So once a week I'll try and throw in a post that just kind of explains what Thrive does, but maybe not so much else, or what is included in a sample pack, but what it doesn't do. You want to leave some kind of mystery, some kind of something that that people can, that makes people want to reach out to you. This summer months seem to be on the slower end, and I don't want anyone to get discouraged over this, because a lot of people are out on vacation and doing all that, but you can still make this work to you if you do it correctly, if you market it correctly, essentially. So if you're out and you're one of those people that like to travel a lot over the summer and are doing all these kinds of things, then make sure you're making posts oh my God, I just went to the beach and I got this packed, I got this packed, I did this and this, and I did all these millions of things. Thank God for this little thing on my arm. And don't say anything else. Don't say DFT, you don't have to say patch, you don't have to say anything. Leave as much mystery as you possibly can for people to want to reach out to you and want to know what the F you're doing, that you're all of a sudden acting like Superwoman. That is the easiest way to do it. And then once you get somebody interested enough where they just want to know more, you don't need to throw your link at them. Don't give them all that. Simply just be well, I have a way for you to try it. Most people feel it in day one, I'll give you 3 days worth, and don't until the very last second announce that there's even a price involved with it. Get them really hyped up for the product first. Don't throw money, don't throw links, nothing. Don't do any of that. Just talk to someone, find out what their needs are, why they would want to try it, what they're going through, connect with them on a serious level. It's work to get customers. You know what I mean? It's not just you're not going to be able to just throw your link or throw one sentence out there and expect people to come back and be yeah, that sounds great. No, you're going to want to connect with people. My best thing is I will go the extra mile with people. Even if they're not a customer yet, I want to know everything about them. I want to know what they're struggling with. That way I know who I'm marketing to. So if I find most of the people I'm talking to are single parents or, people with 2 jobs or something like that, then I know on my posts to cater that towards that. Oh, I don't have to do this now as a mom or whatever. Relate to the people that you're talking to. You have to start conversations with people, and it does not need to be business related. You just need to talk to people. And the samples and all that will come after. I find that most of the time, the people reach out to me for samples, I never in a million years would have even guessed that they needed a product or needed anything, or I don't even know who they are half the time. I'm just they're people that I got from networking. And sorry guys, I feel I run out of breath constantly, because that is the story of my life right now. But really, you just want to concentrate on making friends, being open with people, finding out what people's issues are, posting about them. It's not, this business for me has never been a microwave business. This has always been a crock pot business for me. I have never seen so far in this, bam, I'm successful. Yeah, great, super. That's never happened. I have to work for any customers, any promoters, and it makes it so much more worthwhile because the relationships that I've made with people are insane. So do not treat everybody just like they're a customer or somebody that has pockets and can spend money. Don't do that. You're going to lose if you're doing that. And most of the time, your best customers and best promoters, if you go about it the right way, are going to end up being some of your closest friends. So My God, just be like mini breaks every now and then. But so essentially the best way to get samples out is through attraction marketing. You have to use attraction marketing. I would stray away from using like generic images, generic posts, things like that. And really you want to kind of decide who you are as a human, what problems you have that Thrive is helping you with, and posting and making it you're making it about yourself. That's what you're doing. It's your Facebook page. It's your business, everything like that. You're making it about yourself. So decide what your problems are, what Thrive is helping you with, and like roll with that and post about that. Don't just post about the products 24/7. Nobody's going to be interested in that. And if you guys are networking, which you should all be doing, then people are coming to your page and are seeing all these business posts. No one is going to accept your friend request. Absolutely nobody. They want to see somebody that they can connect with. So if they see that, you know, you're struggling with X, Y, and Z, and they struggle with X, Y, and Z, they might just want to be friends with you so they have somebody to relate to. But if only like, I like to do it as for every business post, there's at least a personal post. And don't slack on the personal posts. I know you guys put so much time and effort into these business posts and making these like billboard looking things, whatever you do, I don't know. They all look great, but like if you put that much attention into your personal posts and making posts about yourself, you're gonna like see double the amount of people coming to you. But you guys are making like these rushed posts about yourselves, like party time. Okay. Nobody's gonna be able to relate to that or do anything with that. So even if it is a personal post, make sure it's business appropriate, if that makes any sense. You wanna make yourself look good, look presentable, and I don't want to see negative posts regarding anything. I don't care how bad of a day you're having. You can never have a bad day if you're thriving. Let me just say that, okay? Keep that shit off of Facebook. Keep it off the internet. Don't get involved with anything like that. It's not good for business. Nobody wants to join with somebody who's like salty as shit over everything. Like it's just not ever gonna happen. Samples really, honestly, come naturally if you can market yourself correctly and use attraction marketing correctly. If you don't know too much about attraction marketing, you have to go to the Hustling team page, and at the top, search attraction marketing and then social media. And the social media one, I think it's called Zoom Zero, is like the best one. It pretty much just tells you that your Facebook needs to be pretty. At least once a week, I go through my Facebook and I look at it and I go through all my posts for that past week, and I go like, if this wasn't me, like would I want to be friends with me? And you know how many times I've deleted posts and like hidden posts from my timeline? Like sometimes I'll make a post and I'll still hide it from my timeline because I don't want it being on my public profile, but it'll still come up, you know, from like my friends and stuff. So it'll still come up in people's news feeds once I'm friends with them. But if you hide it from your timeline, it's being hidden from your potentials or who you're networking with. So I'm just going to keep going back to samples because again, you guys it just seems to be sampling and advertising seems to be like the biggest thing, and like catching people's attention. Catching people's attention is very simple. You just have to be relatable. You have to be relatable to somebody. You're going to be relatable to somebody if you find a problem and you concentrate on that. I've always said since the beginning, when it comes to Thrive, I know it can help literally everything, and you want to tell everybody that can help literally everything, but you can't do that. It's not going to work if you do that. So if you make a post, and if for you, like energy is your reason why Thrive works, post about energy. You don't have to post about cognitive performance and the nutrition and any of that. None of that. If it works for you, it's going to come off best to your potentials because you're passionate about it if it's energy. If you're like, Jesus, like I've never felt like this in my entire life, like that's what you need to be telling people. Don't try to sell everybody. Pick one thing that you're really confident with the product and roll with it. Like if it's your pre-workout, roll with that. If you weren't getting your nutrition and, you know, you were low on something and your doctor was like, great, like this works, like then use nutrition. Whatever it is that Thrive is doing for you, use that. Don't try and lump everything in together. If you spread yourself too thin as far as the market that you're trying to get to, nobody's going to be interested in it because they don't know what it's about. It's too much for them to process. And realistically, all people do on Facebook, other than us, is scroll. And if you're not catchy enough to stop people from scrolling, you're not going to get anybody's attention. The best way to do that, really, honestly, and you're all going to hate me for doing this, are pretty selfies. Use your filters. Do what you have to do. Your posts, I mean, like, if I don't feel like taking a picture of myself, I'll take a picture of my pretty cat. Like, and my post will be nothing about my cat. But pictures and selfies, will grab the most attention out of anything. People want to see into your real life. People are nosy as shit. They just want to know what's going on in your life. And if you don't feel like comfortable doing that, then go live. Do your lives. And you don't have to make lives about products all the time, but you want to get your audience accustomed to you going live. So like you can just go live and just talk about like your day, or like open your mail in front of people, or do your makeup, or like get dressed and say, this is my morning routine. That's the best way I think to do it as far as getting something out with a product, is doing a morning selfie. If you have time for that ever, I highly recommend it. Do it on your day off. If you ever have a day off, whatever you have to do, get up, take your capsules, or even take them on screen for people, and just get on and be like, happy morning, and be doing your 3 steps and let people watch over that 20-minute period of you turning into essentially like an entirely different human, where you're like, okay, like I'm ready. You know, if people can witness that happening in the morning, like that's going to be a huge thing for you as well. What else? The referral program. Kelly wanted me to touch on the referral program. Not 100% sure what aspect of this you wanted me to touch on, but for anybody who doesn't know, people, like your customers, when you log on to your Lavelle site to go to order something, even your customers have a log on. They have the same website, essentially, that like a referral link that you do. So your customers have their own website the second they sign up. It's going to be like, give me a name, like cherryblossom123.le/vel.com. And they can refer their own customers or their own people, even if they don't want to promote, to their site. You get the commission off it and they get the product credit. Like it's a win-win for everybody. You can literally make like triple the money off of one customer. So if you have a customer, remind them of the referral program. If they're having huge success with the product and they start telling people and they start giving people to you, say no, like use your own link, like send them to your own website. Like you'll get credit for it and you'll get product for it at the end of the month. So don't forget about that. Am I missing anything? What's in it? Who asked this one? I forget. So people that get asked the like what's in it, I try and keep it as simple as possible. This goes back to like picking the one thing. Like you don't want to overwhelm people. Again, I know Thrive is like a super product and like you want to tell people everything that's amazing about it all the time and like it's super, but it's going to overwhelm people. It's going to come off as word vomit. Like you don't want to do that. If you're having a particularly hard time with people in Messenger, I highly recommend using voice clips if you're comfortable with that, and that way people get to hear the passion about the product in your voice. But as far as what's in it, I really honestly, I just keep going back to the premium nutrition part of it. The quality of our raw ingredients that we use in our products is not something that you can just go out and buy. It's the reason why you feel more, it's the reason why you feel so amazing. I mean, essentially it's just what, B vitamins, it's just vitamins, minerals, probiotics, prebiotics, it's everything that we all advertise all the time. But to people that don't understand the benefits of that, or like take a multivitamin, they're gonna be like, oh, well, I already take a multivitamin. Like that's great, but your vitamin isn't going to do as much for you to thrive because our raw ingredients are premium. They're better bioavailability, which means your body's gonna do more with them. Like you're not gonna be peeing bright green because your body's actually absorbing these pregnancy brain. What word am I using? Your body's actually absorbing and putting use to these vitamins versus just peeing them all out because they're better ingredients. So I recommend people getting off their multivitamins if they're on multivitamins and just saying this is more well-rounded. You're getting natural energy out of it and your body's going to absorb more than it would from whatever God's green earth that you're taking. Okay. Does anybody have any other questions? So I can take a break from talking. You can unmute yourself, or if you raise your hand, I can unmute you. Someone give me another question. What's everyone struggling with? Hi, Val. Okay, I'm unmuting you. Go ahead.
Hi.
Hi.
So I guess my question, it kind of goes along with like the sampling thing, but I want to know, like I've kind of been like hawking on people and I want to see, like I want to do a giveaway. I don't know if I want to do it like this month or next month, but I feel like I feel like this happens to me every like little bit where I get like stuck with the samples. And then it's also like, I want to do the giveaway so that maybe like in the future I have more people to keep like following up with too. You know what I mean? And I feel like, I'm trying to think, like I'm finally getting to the point where like people are attracted to like my consistency. And I've had people reach out like, oh, hey, I've seen like, you know, this is really working for you and everything. But like, I just don't know how to like position the giveaway. Like, do you have any suggestions for that?
positioning the giveaway that's interesting.
Yeah.
First of all, for anybody that ever enters a giveaway, you should have them written down somewhere.
Yeah.
Potential customer, as a potential whatever, so that after the giveaway is over, which you have the choice where you can either reach out to them or not reach out to them. You can reach out to them and say, hey, I'm so sorry you didn't win. Here's a discount on the sample pack, blah, blah, blah. Or just keep a list of those people and know to watch them on your social media because these people are interested. Whether or not they jump now or they jump later, you know for a fact that they are interested in the product because they entered the giveaway. I would recommend doing a giveaway at least once a month.
Okay.
Every time you get your product credit is generally how a lot of people do it. That way you're just doing it right then and there. I don't know, what do you mean by like how to do a giveaway? Like what your my recommendation is for it?
Yeah, like, so, like, some people it's like, okay, like this, and then, like, I guess you put their name, like, in one of those generators that picks a random name, or, like, do you, like, just pick somebody that you feel like would be a good winner, and then, like, I don't know. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to, like, organize it.
So I don't like the ones that are the like and shares.
Yeah.
I don't think people want this on their timeline. I don't think it's necessary. I like to make it literally as simple as possible. Sometimes I'm just like, who wants free shit? Raise your hand. And like, then people just drop those emojis. Like as easily accessible to people as possible. So like that way they just react like without thinking about it instead of having to read like all these instructions and I would really only have it run for like a day or two. I wouldn't go more than 2 days with running it because people forget about it, whatever. You want to keep the attention going on it. So you could just go to the post the next day, comment on it and just be like 1 day left, and then it bumps it back up into timelines so people can, redo it. I personally do not use the random generators. I think that's a bad business move. I will stalk the shit out of people. I will do my research and I will decide who I think would be best to either become a possible promoter or customer. From there, I will write down all the names and like take a picture of it or something like that. But then I'll take that one person's name and just cut it up a bunch of times and pick that out of a hat. So I'm guaranteed to pick the person that I want. You don't have to do that. You can do it randomly. I don't see a point 100% in doing it randomly. Yeah. I would have more purpose to it, especially if like you've had somebody in mind. Like me personally, the last giveaway that I did was someone like one of the moms at the school who's one of my customers now because she'd been asking me about it for months. And she entered the giveaway, and I was like, ooh, like I got you now. Guess who the winner was, and guess who's now a customer. So I would highly recommend strategically picking a winner, but it's really up to you how you want to do that. But again, I wouldn't have it go more than a day or two. You do 2 days. 2 days is fine. And make sure you keep a list of those people that you know for a fact are interested and enter the giveaway once the giveaway is over. Again, you can either message them, or you can just have them in your mind and just like know to stalk them for the rest of forever until they finally cave. And as far as having lapses in sample posts, I find it's really, really important to switch up your outlet in which you do it. Sometimes I do it just through my stories, and sometimes I do it just through my posts because it changes the way it works. Like something that worked for me a couple months ago may not work for me now as far as selling samples. So when you're making specific selling sample posts, it's just a weird thing where you got to find the groove. Some posts just simply may not work. Delete them if they don't work. There's no harm, no foul. You know what I mean? Like if people saw the post and like didn't interact with it, they're not gonna like go back and be like, hey, I think I saw that post one time. It's just not gonna happen. So it's just one of those things where you gotta play with and find out which one works for you. Like advertising $5 off may not do it. It's something that fluctuates and changes. So you just gotta like kind of figure out the groove for what that is. I would try maybe not even mentioning prices and try that and see if you could, because then people have to like message you and be like, hey, I want this. And then you like talk your whole spiel off, make it sound like the best product in the world. And they're like, yes, send me. And you're like, hey, here's my Venmo. It's $20. You know what I mean? Like make that the last possible step so you get super hyped up for it.
I feel like I have sold the most samples on my Instagram stories with the poll, because it's just like, I'm interested or more info, and then like there you go, there's 2 yes answers, but then it's like, I don't know, how is it that easy? And then I feel like on Facebook I've had like very little luck. It's like I have to have a whole conversation with somebody before I offer them a sample.
Yeah, don't like tire yourself out using an outlet that's not working for you. That's just silly.
Yeah.
It's not working for you. It's not working for you. If you know what works for you, then like doll it up. Spend more time on that. Like make your poll like the cutest, like best thing ever, like on the face of the planet, and like do it like 3 days in a row. Where like you can do day 1 where you're talking about the samples, day 2 how you feel on them, or what the products are, how you feel on them, and then offer the samples the 3rd day. That way, people that are consistently watching your story are like, "What transformation, amazingness," So there's that. Danielle, did you have something? I don't know. Wait, hold on. I have to find you. Hold, please. Okay, go. Did you?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. I was interested in, once the sample is out, with follow up and converting to the sale.
I literally wrote that down. I can't read my own handwriting. Okay.
I knew I told you.
Like following what? All right. That's a good one too. I personally have never followed up with sample people unless it was somebody like in particular, like I know didn't take it yet. It's like most people will generally get back to me because people feel amazing and there's no reason not to. And if you didn't take it or if you don't feel amazing, I really just don't have time for you. But I would recommend following up with people though. I think it has you have a better outcome. You're going to get better response if as soon as a sample goes out. I wouldn't follow up with them the next day. I would give it 2 days because you don't know if they tried it the next day. 2 days, kind of like it could be their first day, could be not, but you want people to kind of like by that second day have tried it. So I'd reach out to them and just be like, hey, oh my God, how did it go? Some people will just be like, great, oh my God, I forgot to reach out to you, woo, and then you can reel them in for there. Some people will be like, I haven't tried it yet. It's going to be one of those tricky things because everyone's going to have a different answer for this. But once you follow up with somebody that had a sample pack and then they loved it and now you're nervous about talking to them as far as like pricing is concerned and giving them your site, if that's what you mean, that isn't, oh my God, hold on. Let me just pretend like I can breathe air. Once somebody says, oh my God, I love it, you feel great, and you feel like you're not getting a response from them, like they're not like, hey, how can I get more, or anything like that, that's where I would just start the conversation of finding out why they're doing Thrive, talking to them about their life, kind of get like a friendly conversation going and just be like, before this, I couldn't do this, and just really, I would empathy and connect with them, connect with that person. If they like the product, connect with them, be their best friend, do what you have to do. And from there, you can throw out what the packages are. Like I never say the 190 personally. I just tell people it's 150, but I can pretty much cater anything to you. So your first goal is to try to get them to like one of the normal packs, the 150, where it comes to all 3 products. Like that's great, but like realistically, not everyone's going to be able to afford it, and that's fine. Find your best angle to still be able to get that customer. I don't care what you have to get them on. I don't care if they can only afford capsules, and get them on only capsules. Never turn down a sale or make it seem like they can't use the product simply because they can't afford all 3 steps. I think that's silly and ridiculous. So if you have somebody that's just like, oh my God, I love this, but like I can't afford this, it's like, you're still going to feel a lot of this if you just get the capsules. If you wanted to just try the capsules for a month, you get, a month's worth of them. If they're only doing 1 capsule a day, then they're getting a whole 2 months worth with just the 30 days and the 2 in a pack. So find out what their needs are and find out how you can cater to them the best. Because if you're just throwing a number out there and it's like, oh, you can't afford that, oh, bye, then they're going to feel some type of way and they're not going to want to come back to you anyway. Because if they're going to think, oh, if I don't have money, they don't want to talk to me. And that's not true. That's never true. You can get them on so many different products. You can keep them in the loop when it comes to any discounts that you're holding. If you're giving away credits or if they're stay. All right, we only have 10 minutes before it's going to charge me $14.99. Oh my God. What time is it? Oh wow. Okay, so we only have 10 minutes left. I'm doing this on a free account. So that would be my best thing, is just try and connect with somebody after they have a sample in their hands so that you know what they want. What their needs are, how much they can afford, you know what I mean? Like, just don't be friends with everybody. Don't let anybody feel like they're left out. And just, does that help at all?
Yeah.
You there?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, no, my biggest thing is like I get a sample in their hands and, you know, then I say, hey, how are you feeling? And they're like, great. And I'm like, cool. So
What did you love about it? Ask them something like that. Like, what did you love about it? Was it like, you know, did you feel energy all day? Like, did you like the DFT? You know, it's the world's first wearable nutrition. Try to just get conversation going.
yeah, I mean, I've seen that the way that M says it is she says on day one, like she kind of goes with the whole like, oh, we have 2 business day shipping. So we can get your order in now and then it'll be to you before you ever run out. But
just asking for trouble, personally.
me too. So that's why I'm like, I don't know how to like close it from there.
No, I would ask them particularly what they loved about it, how their day went, what they got done, what the differences were. Ask them if you can use their review like online. Like, hey, can I post this? Like, I love this. Make them feel really special and just connect with them as much as you possibly can. And like I said, if they say they love it, like just be like, were you interested in continuing? Like, I have a couple different options available, and like make them feel like they're in charge and like can decide whatever they want, but keep their options limited to purchasing something at the same time. So like, we got all these options. You could do a whole month on the whole 3 steps, or if you didn't like the shape, we could take that out. You know what I mean? Just make it customizable to them. Make it feel like you're not just trying to get a sale for a single month or something like that. That makes sense. Cool. Awesome. Does anybody else have any questions? If we run out of time, dear God. Kel, you're hi.
Hi.
Okay.
Just a quick question while you're talking about shakes and everything. Have you heard of anybody using Duo or Burn without the shakes that are losing weight? I personally have not.
Not me personally, but the thing about Burn is I will still recommend Burn to people without the other steps if they want to try Burn.
Really?
Yeah. I know that they said in the calls and stuff like that they obviously, they're a company and they're telling you to use all their products. Obviously that makes the most sense, and they want you to use the first 2 steps. But from the conference that people went to, they had said very specifically that they had tested Burn standalone and had results. Obviously better results with the first 2 steps, but people can still see results. So if people are interested in losing weight, you just have to make sure that they're really on the diet and on the water. Exercise, I don't care. You can do whatever you want with that. But people will still see results. And it's just really, honestly, it's the same thing for Duo, or for Duos too. If people are trying to lose weight, you can try to get them on the DFTs first. Burn, obviously, is more ideal if you're not doing the other 2 steps, but it will yield results. It's just going to be slower, essentially.
Okay.
Cool.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
A little finger, I can see you. Does anybody have any other questions or anything anybody's really struggling with and just like, for the love of God, can't figure out? Like, it's like got like a little remaining meeting time. Okay. We have 5 minutes. Go ahead, Jennifer, you're on.
All right, real quick. I guess I'm struggling with promoters. Trying to talk somebody into being, a promoter. I really haven't addressed it much. I've got 4 customers now, or 3 customers. I have 4, but yeah, I'm not quite sure how to approach that.
Fair enough. Okay, promoters for me, and probably for a lot of people here, especially if you're new to network marketing, you're not coming from another fancy schmancy company where you have tons of people already below you. None of us here, I don't think, we're all on the same page on that. It's going to take time. It's just very simply, it's going to take time. For me, I think I was in this company for probably over a month, and Val was the first person to sign with me. And after that, it was a long period of time before anybody signed with me after that. I'd like to say that, like, even as newbies, we can all just, like, jump in and, like, flourish and, like, get a bunch of people to sign with us, but that's not the case. A lot of these people that you see in other teams and stuff like that, unfortunately, it just came from other companies and are getting a lot of people that were with them in the previous company to come over with them in the new company. So our job is trying to convince people that aren't in network marketing to get into network marketing is a much slower, harder process. I wouldn't panic about that yet. But the one thing I would do is try to make a couple posts about how the business is working for you outside of the products entirely. Just be like, wow, being able to have like a couple extra bucks in my pocket from like essentially like making a few posts on my Facebook, like how cool is that? Keep it short, simple, and sweet. But yeah, I mean, definitely make a couple posts about the business end of things and what it's doing for you. But I would not, don't rush that. Promoters are going to come at their own time. It's not something you can push people for because this is essentially a business, and people aren't just like, yeah, sign me up for this random business that you're talking about. It's just, it's one of those things where you have to like plant your seeds and like put it into people's heads that this is doing a lot for you because you're getting your products for free. If you're making a couple extra bucks a week, you know what I mean? Like something that you didn't have before that would relate to somebody that could use that. If that makes any sense. If you made your money back, just be like, you know, I'm already profitable with this business that I just started. Like that's insane. Like what business do you become profitable in? It's just like non-existent for that to happen in a short amount of time. And all of us should be profitable at this point, at the very least, from what you originally purchased. Oh my God, heartburn. Sorry. Can't breathe. Okay, we have like 3 minutes left. Yeah, but don't worry about that. Make a couple posts.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing something.
Not at all. Coming from, if you've never done this before and your audience are people that have done this before, it's just going to come slower. It's not that it's not going to happen. It's just going to take a little more time. That's all. It's really, don't worry about it.
Rach, can I cut in on that one?
2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Okay. All right. Real quick. So here's kind of like my shady little way of going about things. What I've done, because a lot of our people are from It Works, and their compensation plan, and they get like, instead of free product credits, all they get is free wraps. Like they don't even have credits to offer out to people. So what I've been doing, which is kind of crappy on my end, but whatever. I go to like, in like the search bar in Facebook, I type in like It Works or like, you know, like Wrap Boss and stuff like that. And I find people with old It Works posts, not recent ones, because obviously recent ones are still trying to sell their It Works stuff. And I just friend request them all. And they'll follow you, and then you're like, oh my God, my free credits and this and that and my compensation. And it may take a while, but between today and yesterday, I've talked to 2 different It Works people that have done nothing but trash the company to me. You just kind of have to be patient with it and stalk people.
Yeah, networking
but,
is big on that. We have less.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of go into like, I go into the old posts. The new ones, they're obviously still trying to work on it, but go to older ones, even just a couple months old, because if it's a couple months old and they haven't posted anything recently, they're not doing well.
Yeah, on the next,
and at least,
because we're going to run out of time like any second. On the next Zoom,
okay,
we'll do something that's completely about networking, if that makes everyone feel better. I'll give you my tips on how I've networked, because a lot of my people, customers and everything simply came through networking. So we can kind of go through that next time, because again, we're literally going to run out of seconds here. But so I hope this was helpful for everybody. I am going to stop it before it stops me, so this doesn't like end on a ridiculous note. I'm pretty sure I recorded this, so I will post it in the team chat as soon as it's done. And yeah, here it goes. Okay, bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.